you very much for joining me today on Maple Leafs Man Advantage. I'm Hawkeye, and I'm going to talk about the next trade that happened in this particular season. We're now in the early spring of 1968, March the 25th, and a trade was completed between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues. On December the 2nd, 1967, the Leafs shipped Dickie Moore to St. Louis. He would go on to play 27 games in St. Louis with 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. Moore was very helpful, though, for St. Louis when it came to the playoffs. He had 7 goals in 18 games for the Blues. Now, at the time of the trade or him being shipped over there, I think he was 37 years old, but he was getting zero playing time in Toronto. He did play just a little bit in one season in Toronto, and that's it. So they sent him to St. Louis, and then coming from St. Louis to Toronto, the Leafs got defenseman Pat Quinn, also known as the Mighty Quinn. A good nickname for him. I have seen him play. He was a big, rugged defenseman. He would go on to play 606 games in the NHL with 18 goals, 113 assists for 131 points to go along with 952 penalty minutes. Over the course of a 9-year NHL career, it was certainly his ruggedness or his hitting, his aggressiveness um, is what he became known for and was his style of play that became important starting in Toronto. He would also play for the Vancouver Canucks and the Atlanta Flames as well. After his NHL career, he would then become a top-notch NHL coach, and he did make the Hall of Fame as a coach. He started as an assistant coach in 1977-78 for the Philadelphia Flyers, and then he took over as head coach for the Flyers for the parts of 4 seasons in Philly, so 1978 through 82. And I believe in there was one Stanley Cup final for Philly, at least one. And then parts of 3 seasons for the LA Kings, 1984 through 87. Parts of 5 seasons for the Vancouver Canucks, 1990 through 96. There was definitely a Stanley Cup final in 94. And then 7 seasons with the Leafs, 1998 through 2004 and 2005-06. And then finally, actually, he did coach one season with the Edmonton Oilers as well, 2009, 2010. Of the 18 seasons where he finished the season as coach, he missed the playoffs only 3 times. That's pretty good. Now, in saying that, I definitely understand in the 80s you had to be pretty bad not to make the playoffs, but he did reach the finals twice, so it wasn't Philly. He did that once and once in Vancouver. Yeah, 1980 with the Flyers. He won the Jack Adams as Coach of the Year twice, 79-80 when he reached the finals, and 91-92. In the end, he had 684 wins, 528 losses, 154 ties, and 34 losses in overtime or a shootout, which is a 556 winning percentage. In the playoffs, he had a 94 and 89 record, which is a 514 winning percentage, which ain't too shabby for the playoffs. While Pat may not have been able to win the Stanley Cup in the NHL, it was within international hockey where he really did succeed as a coach. In 2002, he coached Team Canada to win gold in the Olympics at Salt Lake City. In 2004, he coached Canada to a tournament win in the World Cup. In 2008, he coached the Canadians in the IIHF World Under 18 Championships, who won the tournament. And finally, in 2009, he coached Canada in the World Junior Championships, which they won. So he's got a few medals, or maybe even a little more than a few medals around his neck. So yeah, I have no problems with this trade at all. We get a rough and tough defenseman, and glad Hall of Famer Dickie Moore. He's in the Hall of Fame. Got a fonder farewell to the end of his career than what he was receiving in Toronto, which was, I'm assuming, I think he was playing in the minors. So he was able to go into St. Louis and help them on a cup run to the finals this year. So there you have it. I will definitely go with that trade. And it'll be interesting to see next season what happens to the lineup. It looks like we got like yeah, might have a bit of a log jam here, but I know something will happen after the NHL draft from 1968 and stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what we do with the lineup. So that's it. So next time, next video, I'm going to go through the 1968 NHL playoffs and see what happens there. So there you have it. So yeah, if you like this video, hit like, definitely subscribe. I would appreciate that. Or check out the channel. There's definitely some other videos on here about the Toronto Maple Leafs. And if you want to comment on anything, you can do that as well. So until next time, have a wonderful day.